You're holding your baby. You've been up since 4 a.m. You fed them, bathed them, sang to them. And then your partner walks in the room. And your baby lights up. Arms stretched out, eyes wide, the biggest smile you've seen all day. And it wasn't for you. Now, before you take that personally, what your baby just did, it actually means they feel completely safe with you. And the science behind it, once you hear it, you will never feel left out again. Because researchers spent years tracking exactly why babies do this. And the answer has nothing to do with who works, who stays home, or who holds them more. It comes down to something almost no parent is watching for. And it starts with a myth that almost every parent believes. That's not what's happening, not even close. So here's what most people assume when this happens. Well, dad's at work all day. Of course the baby wants mom. Or the other way, mom does every feed, every bath, every night waking, so naturally the baby bonds with her more. It makes complete sense on the surface. More time equals more attachment, right? Scientists actually tested this. They tracked real families, counting every feeding, every nappy change, every hour of physical contact between parent and baby. Then they measured which parent the baby actually reached for, cried for, and lit up for most. And what they found shocked even the researchers themselves. The number of hours meant almost nothing. Parents who spent twice as much time with their baby were not automatically the ones the baby preferred. In some cases, the parent who was home less was the one the baby reached for more. Let me say that again, because this is important. How many hours you spend holding, feeding, and caring for your baby does not determine who they bond with most deeply. So what does? It comes down to one thing your baby is reading, constantly, silently, from the very moment they open their eyes. And most parents have absolutely no idea it's even happening. So here's what's actually going on inside your baby's mind. From the very first weeks of life, your baby is running a kind of constant evaluation. Not consciously, they're not sitting there making decisions. But neurologically, their brain is scanning every single interaction they have with you. And what they're scanning for is surprisingly simple. When I do something, does this person respond? When I cry, do they come? When I smile, do they smile back? When I reach out my hand, do they lean in? These tiny moments, these small, ordinary Tuesday afternoon moments, are what your baby's brain is quietly logging, every hour, every day. Researchers have a name for it, but forget the jargon. Here's what it actually means in your living room. Your baby is keeping score, not of hours, not of nappy changes, of responses. And research on babies as young as 6 weeks old shows something remarkable. They're already detecting patterns in how you respond to them. They start preferring whoever feels most consistent, most emotionally tuned in. Think about what that means for a second. It's not the parent who does the most tasks that a baby moves toward. It's the parent whose responses feel like a pattern they can count on. When you smile back at the right moment, your baby's brain notices. When you come quickly when they cry, your baby's brain logs it. When you hold them and your body actually relaxes instead of tensing up, they feel that too. Babies are reading your nervous system before they can read your face. If you've ever wondered why your baby calms down for one person faster than another, that's exactly what we're talking about right now. Like this video, so other parents find it too. And this is why the answer surprises so many people. Your baby isn't choosing between mom and dad. They're choosing the person who makes them feel seen, safe, and understood. There's an experiment that has made thousands of parents cry just watching it. And once you see what happens, you'll never look at your baby the same way again. It's called the still face experiment, and the results are unforgettable. Here's what happens. A mother sits in front of her baby and they play. She smiles. She mirrors the baby's expressions. She responds to every little sound, every little movement. The baby is happy, engaged, reaching out. Then on cue, the mother goes completely blank. expressionless, still, like someone switched her off. Within seconds, the baby tries everything to get her back. They point, they smile, they vocalize, they reach. They do everything they know how to do, every tool in their tiny toolbox to reconnect. And when nothing works, they break down, they turn away. Some babies are visibly distressed within 90 seconds. 90 seconds, that's all it takes. What this tells us is extraordinary. Your baby is not just looking for your presence. They are looking for your responsiveness. And the moment that responsiveness disappears, even for a few seconds, they notice immediately, completely. That wasn't them choosing against you, back at the start of this video. That was them showing you exactly how healthy and how secure their attachment system already is. And you helped build that, both of you did. Now, before we get to what this means for you and your partner, there's one thing worth pausing on. A baby having a preference for one parent is completely normal. We've just spent the last few minutes proving that. But there is a difference between preference and distress. Child development experts agree on this. If your baby shows genuine panic, not just fussiness, but real panic, every time one parent leaves the room, or if they refuse comfort from anyone other than one specific person for weeks on end, that's worth mentioning to your pediatrician. Not because something is wrong, but because catching it early gives you more options. A healthy preference looks like curiosity. An unhealthy one looks like fear. And for the vast majority of you watching right now, what you're seeing in your own home is simply a healthy, securely attached baby figuring out their world. If your baby tends to reach for your partner more than you, this next part is for you. Researchers have found that babies who develop what's called a secondary attachment figure, the parent they reach for slightly less, actually show stronger social and emotional development overall. Why? Because that parent teaches the baby something the other one can't. They teach the baby that different people are safe, that the world isn't just one person, that comfort, love, and safety can come from more than one direction. The parent a baby reaches for second is teaching them trust on a wider scale. So if you're the one who sometimes gets the second smile, you are not being rejected. You are being trained for something bigger. Your baby is learning that you are their adventure, their bridge to the world beyond the person who feels most familiar. That is not a small role. That is a foundational one. If you have a partner who needed to hear this, send it to them right now. It might mean more than you think. So let's bring this all together. Your baby reaches for one parent more than the other, not because of hours spent, not because of who works or who stays home. They reach for the parent who responds consistently, the parent whose reactions feel emotionally accurate, the parent whose presence feels like a pattern they can count on. And the parent they reach for second. They're building something quieter, but just as powerful, a belief that the world beyond one person is also safe. Both of you matter, in different ways, at different moments, at every stage. So think back to that moment at the start of this video, your baby reaching for someone else, arms out, face lit up. That was never about who's the better parent. That was your baby's brain doing exactly what it's built to do, mapping out every safe person in their world. And you are on that map, permanently. So the next time your baby stretches their arms toward your partner, and not you, don't feel rejected. Feel curious. Because your baby isn't choosing, they're learning. And that learning, happening right now, in your arms, in your home, on an ordinary Tuesday, is what builds a human being who can love, trust, and attach for the rest of their life. That all starts with you. If this video gave you a new way to see your baby, subscribe. Next week, the one daily habit that builds secure attachment faster than anything else, and most parents are accidentally skipping it.